Hi guys, it's Matt here from PilotPracticeExams.com. So in my relentless effort to help you guys not fail your exams, I've come up with an even better way to help you solidify what you're learning, both before and after you learn it. So one of the things you need to understand is that there's different ways to study for different purposes. So we know that exam cycles where you go practice exam, identify your weaknesses, go and study, come back and test it. We know that those cycles, each one of those is a cycle, is very, very effective. But we also know that there are some times when you perhaps are best not to use that and use this method. So let's get in, I'll show you what it is, and then I'll tell you a little bit more how to use it. Okay, so I've put in the RPL and the PPL section, and the CPL students will have, some of them will have access to this as well. So what you want to do is you click on that, and let's just take a look at one, and I'll show you what it is, and then I'll explain why that's going to be useful. So what it is rather than asking you a question, what you do is you read the question here, okay, which come from the CASA tells us that these ones will be in your exams. Now they won't be asked exactly like this, but they do say that it will examine the same content. And then what you do is you do these things here. Okay, so after you finish, click to reveal the answer, but don't do that yet. Okay, so find the key part of the question and say it out loud several times, okay, because we want to reinforce this learning. So the overwater segment of a flight in a single engine aircraft must carry these. The overwater flight in a single engine aircraft must carry these. Okay, identify the answer in your head. So you might think that it's a locator beacon or a life jacket or a raft or whatever you think it is. Say that out loud, okay? And then try and explain it to yourself. Now, if you're confident you know it, mark it as correct, okay? If you're not confident you know it and you want to review it later, you want it to be marked incorrect so that when you do quiz overview at the end, your quiz summary, it gives you your list of your KDRs, then mark it as incorrect. So whichever one you want to do, and then just go check. Okay, now what that's going to do is, for all of these I've put an answer there, and if there's applicable notes from the VFR guide or somewhere else, I've put it in here for you. So then what you can do is you can find the relevant sections, come up here and say the question again. Okay, so the overwater segment, single engine aircraft, these items must be carried, and then you would go down here and you would find the items that have to be carried. Okay, so life jackets over and make notes when you're doing this. So I want you to say them out loud, make notes. I tell you what to do up here, okay? Once you find it, explain it, scribble it, visualize it, maybe even use your small model. Now, so you can see it's very different to you actually answering the question just by pressing a multiple choice. And the whole reason for doing this, I've done this for a few reasons. One, it's a different way of learning, so it's going to reinforce it. This might suit some people way better than others, but I want everybody to give this a go. The other thing is this. Sometimes this is going to be more useful. So for example, just before an exam, they tell us on the day of exams, once you get into about, say, the 12 to 18 hour period of an exam, they tell us that cycles, you want to reduce the number of cycles and you want to do more study. So you want to do less of the actual real exams and you want to do more types of study like this, where you challenge yourself a little bit, but you're not wasting heaps of time. What you're quickly doing is going, oh, I don't know it, give me the answer, and then you try and reinforce the answer. Okay, so you'd work your way through it, check. If you want to skip one, you can. Okay, it's got all the details in there. And then the other thing that this is going to be brilliant for is after you pass your exams, for revision. Sometimes you won't have time or you don't feel like sitting an exam, but you can still come in here and just give yourself a mini challenge by reading that question there and then looking up the answer, which is right there for you. So it's going to be a very time efficient way for you to do study. You can do really early study with it. So when you first start studying, you might go, oh, I can't answer any of these questions, I just don't know anything. Okay, so you could come in here and learn quite a lot of the very relevant content. And then you can go and do practice exams, okay, and go through all the other things that I teach you. So it's just another way of learning. It's very, very powerful. I really encourage you to get right into it. I'm sure once people try them, they're going to come back and go, hey, they are absolutely brilliant. But the important thing is this: you need to realise they're not actual practice exams, and the role of the practice exams is still absolutely massive, and you need lots and lots of cycles through the practice exams in the weeks coming up to the exam. So I hope that's helped. If it has, guys, please give me a like, a comment, drop an emoji. It's the only way Facebook knows that this stuff's good, to show it to other people. So if I post it in the group and nobody likes it, nobody drops emojis or comments or things like that, it doesn't even show the post to other people. So please, as a way of saying thank you, drop a comment, drop an emoji to everything that you like in this group. Thanks, guys. I hope it helped.